Speaking of treasure, it's time to show you our weekly artifact!
What's going on, everyone? I'm Eric.
And I'm Connor. It's great to see you back for another week in our Dig Deep series.
All month, we're talking about what it means to dig deep and search for wisdom. What is wisdom, you might be asking? Wisdom is finding out what you should do and doing it.
That brings up an important question. Where do you find wisdom?
That's a good question.
Where does it come from? Well, that's what we're going to get into in today's Bible story.
You see, wisdom doesn't just come to you. You've got to search for it. Kind of like you'd search for a lost treasure in a forbidden cavern.
Speaking of treasure, it's time to show you our weekly artifact! I'm gonna be honest with you, I had no idea what I was gonna show you.
Oh.
So I thought maybe instead of showing you something old, we can show you something new. Eric, bring out the supplies.
Here, we have a pot. We have some soil and some seeds. This plant is called the King Solomon seal. And you know who we're gonna be talking about in today's Bible story?
Who?
King Solomon.
You know King Solomon. He was said to be like the wisest man ever that ever lived. And some say that this plant was growing in his palace. Plant the plant. Why do you have seeds in your pocket?
I always keep seeds in my pocket. There you go.
Why'd you have to make such a mess?
These are seeds. I would want to make sure someone made it in the...
Okay.
I guess now all that's left to do is wait.
Should we do something while we're waiting?
I guess we could play a game. Today's game is called There It Is. We'll show you some pictures with some differences in jewels and treasures, and you must find the jewels that are the same.
Okay, let's do it. Let's look at round one. This round is pretty easy. It's the blue square jewels.
All right, round two. All right, the matching ones are the purple ovals this time.
Let's see round three. And we have the two green square gems.
Round four. Let's switch it up this time, but let's make the gems different sizes. Make it a little harder. It's the blue square jewels.
All right, this is our last round. Make sure you know your points. There it is. It's the blue square gems again. How many did you guys get right?
Oh my gosh, when is it gonna grow?
Let's watch our Bible story while we wait for this plant to grow.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of 1 Kings, chapter 3, verses 4 through 28.
Imagine this. You're in a deep sleep, dreaming, when all of a sudden, the creator of the universe shows up and says,
Ask me for anything.
Anything. You could ask for anything in the world and have it. What would you say? Perhaps you'd request an unlimited Amazon account where you could get whatever you want for free. Or perhaps you'd request a flying race car that could be dropped off at the moon or on the beach. Or you could ask to be the most popular kid in school forever. This might sound like a fairy tale, but it's true. It actually happened to a young man named Solomon. When King David died, his son Solomon became king.
What are your royal orders, Most Royal Highness?
I'm not sure. I've never been king before.
Though Solomon was young and inexperienced, his father, King David, taught him to listen to God's words. So, Solomon showed his love for God by obeying his laws.
I want to thank the Lord for everything he has done for my family.
Solomon traveled to the city of Gibeon, where he offered 1,000 burnt sacrifices to honor God.
There is no one like you, God.
That night, Solomon sank into a deep sleep, and the Lord appeared before him in a dream.
Ask for anything you want me to give you.
1,000 ideas must have exploded into Solomon's head. Gold, power, life forever. But instead, he said,
Lord, you have made me a great king, but I'm only a little child. I don't know how to carry out my duties. I'm here among the people that you have chosen. They are a great nation, so give me a heart that understands. Then I can rule over your people. I can tell the difference between what is right and what is wrong.
It was a simple request, but one that would change Solomon's life forever.
You have not asked to live for a long time. You have not asked to be wealthy. You have not even asked to have your enemies killed. Instead, you have asked for wisdom. I will give you a wise and understanding heart. As long as you live, no other king will be as great as you are.
As the dream faded, Solomon woke with a start.
Was that real? That was real!
Amazed, Solomon returned to Jerusalem, where he once more gave sacrifices to honor God and held a great feast for all his officials.
What are we celebrating, Your Most Royal Highness?
God has promised to give me wisdom to lead the kingdom.
How is that working out for you?
Well, it was in a dream.
Ah, I see.
Perhaps Solomon wondered at first whether he really had received wisdom from God, but this was soon put to the test.
Your Most Royal Highness, you must help the people solve their problems.
I'll do my best, with God's help.
First order of business, we have these two ladies here. State your business, please.
My friend and I... Okay, so she's not my friend anymore.
Speak for yourself.
I'm trying to. We live in the same home, and we both had baby boys. But her baby died, and so she took my boy in the night, and now she says my baby is hers. See? That's not her baby.
No way. This baby is my son.
Is not.
Is too.
Ladies!
Solomon turned to the first woman.
You say my son is the living baby, but your friend says the baby is her son.
That's a lie.
Is not.
Is too.
God gave Solomon a wise idea.
Bring me a sword.
An official quickly brought the king's shining sword.
Your royal sword, Your Royal Highness.
Solomon studied the two women carefully.
Excellent. Now, cut the baby in two parts. Give one half to the first woman and one half to the second.
Solomon had no intention of harming the baby, but he knew this was the way to find the truth.
No! Give her the baby. Don't kill him.
Oh, whatever. Neither of us will get the baby.
Solomon could instantly see which woman truly cared about the baby.
Give the boy to the first woman here. She is his mother.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
No fair. That was totally a trick.
The baby was given to his true mother. All the Israelites heard about Solomon's decision and trusted that he would judge them fairly too. God made Solomon so wise that his understanding couldn't even be measured, like the sands on the seashore.
Wow, Solomon asked God for the wisdom he needed to be a king. And it wasn't long until he had the chance to put that wisdom into action, with a very wise ruling about the mom and her baby.
It's clear that Solomon didn't think he could just figure things out by himself. He knew he needed God's help. he needed to trust God to give him wisdom. That way, he could know what was right and fair in any situation.
When all of the Israelites heard about the ruling Solomon had given, they knew that he was going to be a great king. They could tell that he had wisdom from God and that he would do what was right as their leader.
And remember, all of this happened because Solomon asked God for wisdom. He trusted that God was the source of all wisdom, and God made Solomon so wise that his understanding couldn't even be measured, like the sand on the seashore.
It's cool to think that Solomon asked God for wisdom at such a young age. Wisdom is something that we need at any age. At our age, your age, you can grow in wisdom, whether you're a kid or an adult. So don't forget to ask God for the wisdom that you need, because all wisdom comes from him, and we know that he'll give it to us.
That reminds me of our bottom line today. Trust God to give you wisdom. Can you guys say that with me?
Trust God to give you wisdom.
Can we say it one more time?
Trust God to give you wisdom. Let's talk to God and ask him to help us find his wisdom. God, you are so full of wisdom. Please, in our daily lives, help us to find that wisdom. Help us to remember that it is important for us to ask at any age for your wisdom, Lord. Let us be like Solomon and make wise decisions so that we can reflect your goodness and your kindness to everybody. Amen.
Amen. Wait, Connor, is that a green sprout right there?
There's nothing.
This thing is
not growing.
This thing's never gonna grow, dude. It was.
All right.
You dropped the ball. I'm bringing it.
That's all we have for this week. Bye. And some say that this plant was growing in his palace. Plant the plant and commentate with it.
All right. The matching ones are the purple ovals this time.
Sounded like you were awfully confused on what shape they were.
Oh, let me say that one again. Round 4. Let's switch it up a little. Here we go. Let's switch it up a little and have these games be different sizes.
Gems?
Gems. Sorry. I got jammed. Here we go.
We're not on camera, right?
No.
They knew that he would be a great king. Sorry, I just burped.